YouTube check 1 2, check 2, check 3. Yeah, we may have just seen an hourly retrace on the SPX. Hang on, right? It's gonna be a little turbulent here. Let's see how this goes on, guys. Hold on. Let me sit down. Hold on. Two, check three. Please let me know if I am here. Check 1, 2. Uh, nice. Hold on, guys. Is my screen showing up like a really small projection in on your side? Oh, okay. Guys, whenever if that is this the first time that's happened or is this is the first time that's happened? I'm shrinking. Okay, okay. Yeah, hold on. Let's connect this thing back. Yeah, let's get it connected. Yeah, it looks like it was kind of nosebleeds. Ah, dude. Hold on, man. But what are you seeing? It's just tiny. Team, can you hear my voice? Check 1 2. Check 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 2. Check check 1 2. Check 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 check. Oh my goodness. All right, guys. Yeah, how about having to update the entire interface? Yay. Anyway, okay. Yeah, really interesting turn of events here, guys. Of course, you know, we mentioned we mentioned earlier, you know, to Chile to potentially cover his short exposure, or I think he may have been long puts or whatever, around 20 minutes prior to the close of your lunch period, right? So since then, there has been, yeah, this was just about observing this chart here. A weekly put? Oh, okay. So it happened just about what is that? Oh, sorry guys, we're experiencing. Is LAES going? It is going. Okay. Yeah, so just about a half hour prior to the around 25 minutes prior to the lunchtime NYSE, that kind of happened. Remember, guys, I'm in Pacific time, just about 3 hours, behind the East Coasters. And yeah, since then the SPX has been making a run. Now, specifically from 6603 to about 6653. So now that's a 50-point move, and you know, well, the daily time frame on this shows an opening of about 6611. So technically speaking, the daily ATR top on your SPX would be 6685. So 6685 would be located right about here. Let's see. Does it have enough juice to get there? Is the freaking question, right? 6685. Yeah, this has gotta go. 66, 60. Yeah, this is an area here that can absolutely prevent upside continuation. Anywhere between, I can't say that it's going to be completely true, guys. I say, actually, man, yeah, this is the current zone that we're testing right now, and it's impressive because it does have a lot of confluence here, right? You have the wick top on this side. You have the, oh my goodness. Yeah, you do have a bit of weirdness here, right? Resistance at this point here, resistance at this point, and resistance at this point, which is somewhat confluent to this top side too. So it coming back and you know, knocking on that door is pretty impressive. It's the proximity is really close. It's not far enough yet for me to consider failure of that resistance, right? Of the breakthrough or breakout. So that's making me believe that it probably wants to try the 6685, but that would be essentially 6664 to right about the 667102-ish. Let me see, actually 667241. Let me adjust. Hold on, 667189. If it does that, right? That's we're talking about like a full run here. Hold on. Yeah, also your 3-day gap, right? Of course, it's getting a little bit of pressure there. Yeah, the proximity from here to here is still not convincing enough for me to consider this a failure. So I guess something would have to be essentially announced for for a downside here. I think if it doesn't get announced, then your confluent. I'm sorry, not confluent. Your resistance would actually be traditional price, or just average true range. So of course we would just kind of see things right about here, 66, 64, 80 to about 66, 71, 89. So keep your 3-day time frame, not the 3-day, actually. Let's do this based on I think we could even see it from an 8-hour time frame. Let's remember the SPX is running on intraday only. So it may not see the after hours resistances of like the ES or the SPY, but they are pretty close enough. In fact, I would probably consider this to be that's why it did it, right? That's why it resisted. Check it out. All this wick low here. You have the opening bar here, right? You have the closing bar here. You have the range high here. So that's why you're getting, and the 3-day gap, a slight bit of a peekaboo, right? But it's also a soft resistance. It's not like the it's not well, I mean, this makes it pretty strong. It's just not it doesn't feel like it's the primary area, you could see others, like for example, like something like this down here. It really isn't that. You're at a 55%, from the total reaction here. So it kind of diminishes the strength just a little bit. The hourly closure on the SPX is coming in around 14 minutes, so that may push through. That may push through first and then get like some type of support before a continuation. So heads up, because this asset becomes a bit nervous as it enters its hourly closes. Getting some news here. Let's see. Gold on pace for biggest week since 2020 as precious metal goes parabolic, of course, guys. Yeah, tickers like GLD and I believe SSRM have been doing okay. But SPY looked better, way better than yesterday's LAES can go. Dude, I know, brother, I know. Very, very unfortunate news and time, getting everything just super confused over there. Like, relax, bro. Like, freaking CEO needs to relax. So I think, guys, it's really kind of remember yesterday I was talking to you about the gap up to which, by the way, was kind of inspired by Jen. So she's telling me that the VIX is reaching an area of resistance that we've historically resisted from. And looking back in my analysis for the VIX, we determined that we've already kind of seen this channel. Right, guys, it's this right over here. So we determined 3 potential targets, right? Very similar to, 2690, we had a 2771, and the last target of about 2964, and we spoke about opening there. So we did open there, very tiny pullback here, and the peekaboo, and then it continued to capitulate. Now I will say this, it's interesting because this is the 5-day open of this bar. So typically speaking, that means risk off, or I mean, if you could, I guess it means risk off VIX, take profits, right? And risk on assets. So cyclically, it may still kind of do that, but I'm not going to ignore that it does feel a bit wonky. We're still you're at a great support here. On the VIX, this is an enormous support right about this point. So what can that do? It can make it bounce and come back to validate all the way up here. So that could give back all the gains that the markets have gathered here. So I want you to be super careful here. But yeah, the SPX pullback at this moment would be in light of its hourly closure coming in about just a little over 11 minutes. And that could be like a 50%, 30 to 50% decompression. In this case here, we're looking that the SPX does have some nice areas of support. This is still a soft support here at 66.44. Of course, it could dip down a little bit. It could really, honestly, it should be dipping down to around 66.30. I'm not even sure that it will, but it should be dipping down to somewhere around those targets, even right about here at these confluent levels, 66.29.13, in order for it to gather enough buyers for a continuation to the upside. So guys, I need to be clear with you that OPEX is today, right? So that can bring serious damage to your positions. So as you approach the close, getting closer and closer to the close, not only is your delta, as your theta just eating you for 0D, and everything that's expiring, right? Just everything. So that's, it does present a dangerous moment, you know. At some point, guys, they can just stop the price action and consolidate it, you know. And if price action consolidates, then it's gonna Ivy crush both sides and expire worthless. You know, I don't think they're going to want to pay their, I don't know that they're going to want to pay their 66.50s, you know, or whatever the highest open interest is within that area, the you know, what is it, the relative area, or I say maybe the Qs, you may get maybe potentials of a false breakout, right? So we could be seeing the better part of a break from the 603.30, and should there be the break from the 66.30, this would have us, you know, it would be kind of like a bull trap, right? So it really could resist somewhere like this. Man, it's, guys, I really would be careful from here on. Okay, smaller positions, right? Do not over lever. I gotta say, right, your positions here on LAES are also in a bit of danger. So just kind of keep that in mind here, okay, guys. Q bull trap area would be. Whoa. Hold on. Yeah. The Q bull trap zone would be right around that area there. Why is that? Yeah. Okay. No guarantees on this, right, guys? Well, freaking the markets never guarantee anything anyway. But the wick highs here could present some. Hi, Mama. What's up with you? Good to see you. Would present a little bit of danger. So technically speaking, you know, your bull flag, because of this wick, I know it's you know, I know that it's an outlier, right? And we should be ignoring outliers, but I gotta say, it's like similar to the take profit from the natural bull flag anyway, right? So your natural bull flag would be, it would be just right about here at around 603.27. So guys, this is all a little weird here. The SPX support is you know, pretty strong there. Is guys, just hold on to your bags, right? That's you're gonna land at the high of day here. If the high of day on your NDX and your QQQ, if that breaks and we have you know, maybe I would say enough closing valuations confirmations before a continuation, that I gotta tell you, that would probably give us the right move for the upside, and it would be an equal move. So we're at the 50% testing right now. So if that's the case, then your equal reaction would just be equivalent to something like this here. So roughly around your 610.29 on the Q, right? So if that happens, Mama, why don't you come up? You're good. You chilling? Or did you need to say something to me? But yeah, the current ATR top on this would be 603. I'm sorry, daily ATR top. That would be the better thing, right? Your daily ATR top would be 606.36, and I kind of already have something like that. Yeah, guys, if there is a continuation, that would be the case there. Okay, so we're coming up to the targets of resistance that I showed you here. This is the equivalence on the QQQ, right? Oh, sorry. I'll go ahead and put those targets for you. Here are the receipts. This is your inflection point. We need to break that. Mr. Beast has 455 million subscribers. Dude, that guy's insane, dude. He just has mad cash. Okay, so yeah, guys, this just one more time, right? I'm just gonna go ahead and give you this information because I believe that it is critical to your trading and to your present knowledge. I'm gonna go ahead and put in the targets on your SPX as well. Okay. Well, here I'm gonna get rid of this line. Sorry, guys, I know I'm not on the chart. I'll show it to you right now. Okay, so yeah, this is like your crazy area here on the QQQ, which is confluent to this crazy area on the SPX. Here you go. Heads up with that zone right there, team. That can spank you a little bit and show you some silliness. We are absolutely, you know, there's no way around it. Like we really have to break down. Okay, if you're following this, Jen, phantom resistance 66.54.71 on the SPX, and this right there is yeah. Look at that thing. That was really interesting. And it's, guys, that resistance on the is just, you know, the resistance on the SPX is preventing the QQQ to enter officially. Damn. That is powerful. No. This is not a, guys, this is, I'm not kidding. This is a moment of truth here. Like this, it has to break to survive the upside, or it just, this is it's capitulation from here, and then it's donezo. So what time is it? It is we're about, yeah, well, I mean, we're about 4 minutes from the hourly close on the no. I'm sorry. What time is it? Yeah. SPX would be closing its hour here, so it was an early decompression technically that makes it bullish. So let's not overreact. Let's not really make anything up unless the data really comes in supporting things of such nature. Let me take a sip of water, team. Let's watch this thing. 2 minutes, 27 seconds to go. They're obviously peekaboo to the upside, potentially 66, 56, 94. Pullback likely to the zone that we have been supporting from 66, 44, 85. Breaking this would have you support at 66, 44, 85 before using somewhere in here this area for short entries. So, and that can impair LAES certainly. Okay, guys, so please get your triggers ready there in case you have any weird something going on. But these are those silly moments. Yeah, let me get the sip here before things go insane. I know what it's looking like, right? I know what it's looking like. Just be very careful here, guys. This entire area could be considered a potential bull trap. Please be very careful, okay? We need closures. We need to validate the continuation, but it's looking okay. Just remember, this just opened. It just opened. Very, very, very dangerous here. Okay, hold on. I mean, well, yeah, the decompression on the hourly was, and the 30-minute, they were done way too early, so that it gives it a bit of an edge, but they are smaller time frames. Decompressions early from like your 8 hour, daily or bi-daily, those really, they are effective. However, it doesn't mean that these are useless. The smaller time frames are useless. It just, it's a slight advantage. I would say like from, technically speaking, like a 60 to maybe 65%, and maybe 5 to 8% advantage additionally to the chances. So for now, you can kind of observe that the Qs are not, they're kind of crippled up there, right? They're not reaching that 603.61 because the SPX cannot break into its 66.56.94. So those are those out of nowhere resistances that you can experience, right, guys? So just using, this is, we're learning stuff like this in conditioning, guys. So make sure to sign up to your master's course. I have much to show you. Just email me, guys, whatever you need. I don't care what you need. Don't be afraid to ask. That's ARCABULLS@gmail.com. You know what to do. You know what? You can always right click on me here and send message, right? I think you could also do that. No? Let me see. Let me do it to you, Quinny. If I right click on you, oh yeah, I can right click on Quinn's profile, and that does this. You can message. Nice. Yeah, it's rejecting, but also remember that we did close. We did close 1, 2, 4, and 8 hour ETF and your traditional markets. So technically speaking, we, like I was telling you, we still would have to kind of observe somewhere around this support here. So the support, sorry, man, come on. Somewhere around this area here of the SPX, this would be that relevant support. So, yes, you can 50% retrace the hourly here, and that would be, these targets that we kind of talked about here, right? 66, 33, 47 to right around 66, 29, 13. That is conditional. It is conditional upon breaking below this. It is that. Okay, guys, but this just kind of like what we said a little bit earlier did serve a bit of as a peekaboo before retracing, right? So I think this is still in line. That's why no confirmations, nothing yet. I know what it looks like, right? It looks really good, right? But still, we must validate the break and confirm the break. Sorry, Eagle Eye. Did you mention, Arca, that you were starting again on your beginners or masters? Yes. Yeah, the one for $100. Yeah, that's starting up again. I didn't make it to class yesterday because it was the worst idea, I guess, to put myself in bed for a nap. It turned out to be a 4-hour nap, and every single alarm was going until I guess I started zoning back into life. It was like, zzz, and all the music started coming in. I'm like, what? And then I woke up all scared. Yeah. No. I mean, yeah, it did feel good, right? But I was kind of like just trying to shift. I was just trying to like turn my position to go to the other side and sleep better that way. And that's when everything started to kind of mumble in. Oh man, that was that moment, guys. It was, please don't. Yeah, of course. Don't Don't judge me, fool. Uh, it was an interesting time indeed. Okay, so yeah. Wow. I imagine that these pullbacks are, because guys, hold on. Have you guys ever gotten your notifications like on something like Coinbase or Robinhood, and the notification is about whatever ticker you're interested in, right? And it says that, it'll say something like BTC has moved 14% on the day, and then when you go into your chart, it's like going down. Have you ever have you ever noticed that for real? Like, oh my goodness. So every day that I know, me too. So what that is interesting, because I was really curious over what in the world was happening. I'm curious right now. Sorry. I'm really curious over what in the world is happening with gold. But about 30 minutes ago, I got a notification from Yahoo Finance saying that gold reaches new highs. It's soaring. And then over here on the 12-hour, it's doing this. Like, manipulate me without saying it out loud. It's just that. That is just mental. I can't believe it. But that's what I just experienced. Alex, still in the 606ish. Well, if it's still going to around the 606 mark, this is the condition. Like, we just have to break. The condition I was showing you earlier. That this thing, Mama, we have to make sure to just get over this. If we can't get over it, then it's probably going to be a deeper retrace. We haven't gotten the 50% of the SPX yet, so which means that your QQQ could relate to the 50% retrace around 601.84 to maybe even 601.64, maybe around there. But it doesn't have to meet a 50% exactly. Remember that it's also anywhere between 30 to 50% of your hourly. It's the SPX. So anyway, I do need to look at this gold tick. When are your expiries? For the is it contracts that you are in for GLD? For a ELD next Friday? Oh, okay. But still, ooh, okay, yeah. This is a great. It is a great support, right? Your daily ATR low is 391.30, so it's completely oversold. It's extended. You wish you had 2 weeks out instead? Get rid of those right now and enter a better cost basis with a better, better cost basis. Yes, less, but the upside is going to be a lot bigger. So, meaning that this may gap down into Monday too. You're looking at a. Hang on. We're approaching the 50. We're approaching the. I guess it's a 20%, not even 15% of your SPX. That was right. It's right there. Bounce from that point. Phantom support Q. Hold on. Phantom support Q 602.16. This doesn't have too many. Oh, okay. Well, this is. Yeah, well, I mean, this worked. It's a true red outside bar, right? Bearish engulfing on the top of the trend. Very, 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 very. I needed to look, beyond. Here it is again. It's testing that. If it fails, if the Q fails that level, guys, this is, you're probably going to want to drop. It actually would be more like $600.97. Be careful. It needs to break below, in order for the Qs to break into that level, it needs to break below 601.86. Okay. Let me see. This thing really doesn't have too many. All right, so we counted one good one, right? So let's come back over here and see what is up. This is that good one that we counted. Wait. Okay, oh, 2 good ones. Technically, I can't count this because of this bar here. I can't count it. I can't count this one either because it's on a downtrend. Failed. Yeah, so many gaps. Well, it's it's because I'm using let me see if I can just put it in the. It's because you're seeing the daily time frame there. Even still with a 12-hour, it's still there too. Wow. Okay. The daily there actually is there is actually a chance that this would be invalidated, and you may open on a gap up. So like based on just looking back one, and it was kind of hard for me to find the others. Like, think of the attention that people want to put into something like that. It has to be under the same condition, and then this one succeeded. So how far was it? A gap up? Yeah, I mean it is really nice. So all right, let's look a little deeper then. This was a 3-day closure, and your 3-day is just about 50% retraced there. 4-day time frame is not. No. Your weekly should have started retracing a long time ago. And we had a 9-day or something, yeah. $28, huh? That's just too. 28 is just way too big. Like, there's, how many times has it even, closed its okay. Almost every time. That's not good. Even this one did it with a tiny little wick. Damn it. Even upside, it covered its gap. It closed its gap. Let me see. The man. On an uptrend, though, man. It really closes its gaps. It absolutely does, like almost every time it closes its gaps. But I haven't seen one that has that big, like this one here, when it starts exceeding a certain distance, like this one here too, right? It was a certain distance away, where it does, I want to know, like 2 of them have already, this one too, right? So 3 that are far away, when it's close enough, it'll get it. So it does have a proximity effect too, here too, look at that. So, yeah, okay. Now let me, this is massive discretion and like just something that, you're going to have to be very careful with. So if I'm looking at this price action like this, it is technically far enough not to. This is technically far enough not to close its gap and continue. So if I were to know better, your support would have been roughly between 385.86. Let me draw it in. Yeah, we got the support from the liquidity level, guys. Let's see what happens here. Also, guys, check if anybody could check. Is there something announced? Was there news announced just now? This right here. This would have been your support, but this is actually it. Let's see. Yeah, what was the news? Because that was a gigantic jump in 5 minutes. Sorry, in 30 seconds. Know what I'm saying? Wow. On the Qs, I mean, guys, and the SPX. I'm so sorry. I know I'm being an airhead over here. 385.93. Let's go ahead and take a look at your. Okay. Yep. This is your zone here. So the only thing I'm not sure of is if it's going to actually, get it. I have no idea if it's going to actually close it. So yeah, like I said, right? You are at all kinds of resistances here. You have a choice. If you the thing is that you have around what, a daily ATR, is it good enough? It's around $6. So let's just say that you open up. I'm sorry, it already opened. It already opened, right? So now the continuation would be the deal here. You got also look at this, right? You also close your daily gap. I didn't really realize that we were doing that. Whoa. Your Qs and SPX are looking really jumpy. Like really jumpy. That's a lot of volatility. That something must have been said. Something. What the heck is it? That's a lot of. But something like this could really just bring the price back down. You know, this is your cue. It just resisted from the day's high, exactly at the day high. Yeah, you know, those could be those parabolic opportunities to just let go of risk, but you are above, yeah, you know, some critical support here. So the closure, oh, it's because we're just about 9 minutes from closing a 3 hour time frame on, is it 3 hour? Let me see. Yes, a 3 hour time frame on your on the cues here. So you know, it does get a little ridiculous there. Man, it really is kind of, it's really hard to tell, guys. Really hard to tell if it's going to do it. My thing is that it's going to open, you know, really bullish and peekaboo and then retrace probably heavier this time around. And, you know, that could really mean something. I think, yeah, as soon as this thing closes, guys, you have around 7 minutes, 52 seconds to close. You might get another little pump to the upside, just short of your top side here, and then really retrace to the breakdown that it's supposed to be validating, somewhere down here at 600 bucks. I think that it wants to catch that support. Yeah, this one here, 692, $600, 99 to 601 ish, maybe 17. It's just oh yeah, and then also this is that liquidity area that we identified to be pretty thick. Damn, yeah, that one's tough, guys. But that's what I'm seeing so far. Okay, so yeah, it now it does leave gaps, so that's a great thing. It likely is going to leave that one too on GLD. So yeah, absolutely. You're looking like a tweezer top as well on a 15-minute. You're gonna. What time frame is this in? This is about 3 hours to closing that time frame. Hold on. 6 minutes to closing your 3 hour bar. You got 6 minutes to make a decision here. Either you average down or you get rid of your position here. Let it I know you're probably gonna need the cash to settle or whatever. I'm not sure if you have anything, but I'm sorry, anything. If you have the extra funds for purchasing, but this thing would, yeah. See how this happened here? Like your daily open gapped up, but it came back to the body. That's kind of what I'm expecting. So you'll at least get some kind of a pullback once you open the new day. So this thing closed here, gaps up, and pulls back at least some. But in this case, you know, it pulled back to the gap between these two bars here. So then if you continue, yeah, look at this, right? This big ass candle closed here. It opened up here, retraced to close that gap and continued. So yeah, even this one here, retraced. This one here closed here, opened up down there, closed the gap, continued. So I think that this may close above somewhere, and your new candle would be here. It'll probably open up somewhere around 390.41 to 391.18, pulls back to close wherever this closed, wherever we close, right? And then you get your upside. So, but then what if it just runs forever and ever? You know, that's your risk. So please be very careful. Overall, you know, it just looks like it's not done. It just, you know, this thing is just it's doing its thing, you know. It's really crazy. Um, yeah, this is just about it's about 30%, you know, 35% your 11-day open. It's nice, and it is confluent to those those gaps and things. So maybe the moment of truth. It is here, very close at least. Your SPX, just like we talked about, right? That high likelihood of grabbing its the 3-hour retrace back into this area here, 66.37, 66.33.47 to just about 66.29.13. Let me see. Because that would, in traditional price, guys, in traditional price, that would be the area to validate for continuation. So you break above this area, you know, you continue towards the upside, you test your full on resistance, and then come back to validate your 50%, right? But also in this process, you're testing the 50% of this total area too, which is located right here, very relative to where we've been resisting. So this is it on the 50%. So now, yeah, this would be a zone here, right? You have massive bounces. Of course, they can wick down or whatever, but you do have bounces that have happened there throughout the days. So let's yeah, let's see what's up. Interesting. My goodness. Yeah, man. Oh my goodness, guys, this is making me all freaking like actually hot and bothered. Let me turn on this air here. Hold on. So so earlier we were talking about the earlier we were talking about the momentum uh, on you know the movement here on your options contract. Sorry, and I said that at a certain moment they could just pause price action, and that would be to trap both sides, and it would move slow enough to then to crush the both sides with volatility. So that would be an IV crush, the implied volatility crush. So there is a chance that that is happening here, guys. A slight chance, So we have to be extremely careful as this happens. It's just I can't believe how I can't believe the rejections that were it's really sensitive here on the 15 minute of the Q, right? It's extremely sensitive there. So your immediate movements here. So it makes me feel that it's NASDAQ that's kind of leading the entire thing right now. So your 3-hour retrace. Let's take a look. That 3-hour retrace technically could be around that 599.97, but in this area there's so much, there's a whole bunch of stuff there. There really is a lot of it doesn't mean that it can't break it down. It just has a lot there. And you know what? Let's take a look. I was just looking at the 3-day because of its potential 50%, which I guess could be around 599. But this zone here would be the better invalidator. It could actually be just around that 599.99. Yeah. Did you risk on that? JBLU? Let me see. We had an entry. Yeah, here comes that. I want to see how the asset you're talking about is behaving. Oh. This still has downside all the way. Hold on. Oh, yeah, your 30-minute is expanding to the downside, and your hourly would take over as well. Your bi-hourly time frame is still continuing. It's got an hour to go. It likely continues. Downside on the 3-hour, 4-hour down, 6-hour. Still downside on your 8 and 12. Downside into the daily. Bi-daily time frame, peekaboo. Okay, so that would be a bi-daily ATR down, but it does have a bit of a support coming in soon. The floor may be in soon. It's not there just yet. So the current ATR low, 440. Wow, it's taking you directly to this. Okay, hold on. 440, huh? Is that your dead cat target? We'll find out now. you are getting an incline of volume as this goes down. That's dead cat material, right? Target to the downside, 444. Naturally, there are some areas there of confluent, exactly there actually. But yeah, we're gonna count this as. I need to look at this on a weekly actually. $444 is located. It's located at this gap. Damn. Yeah, there's a. This is tough. You know what? Hold on. We shouldn't pick up any position, like. We shouldn't pick up any position today, none whatsoever, because this may exceed your daily lows. Yeah, this is saying you have a 450 max, but 444 is your potential. But I was going to tell you that there is an area that may salvage it all, and that's located here on this, what's called a fair value gap. This weekly wick low right here, right, which could be replaced by this target right about here at 459. To just I'm going to leave it at 455 for now, with a liquidity bottom of 450, which, oh damn, which is your ATR low. The problem is that, you know, you're performing this critical low. Where is it? The problem is that, yeah, like I'm saying, the problem is that you're performing it. So you have all of this downside here, and that can, you know, that can cascade into bigger problems. But I will say that I will say this. If you pick up contracts today, that's not a good idea. You have 2 free days. You know, you're giving theta for 2 days. For example, if your theta is like saying like you have like 44 cents of theta, that means you're giving them like 44. But just simply speaking, you're giving them like $44 per contract. You're playing shares only. Okay. This is, you know, no matter what, it's closing a pretty bullish candle on the weekly. You know, it's going to be your inverted hammer. I don't like that. Well, yeah, it did make a new high, so that's okay too. Right? And the longer the wick, the better. So this is a significant wick. You have green volume increasing here. So that's, you may be approaching a bottom here, you know, and it would be so. Like, this is the area to test when you break out of it, right? So you broke out of this area here, and you came to test your high. We just spoke about this setup on the SPX. So you come back, you test your highs, which are probably inflections from before. You come back down and validate the break, right? So it would be here. As soon as you validate that break, you start moving back up. The weekly time frame should have been decompressing. So I'm sorry. So I guess it did. It did decompress all day. It's been decompressing all day. So this is telling you that it would have a natural upside at the open of Monday. Don't be fooled completely by that, right? Because there's always a peekaboo to the downside before you continue. So I'm saying that this weekly bar would actually make a retrace that would be, if it has the space available, if we can make it all the way, technically speaking, your 50% is located right around here at the 472 mark. So it would, yeah, it would be roughly around 468 to 470 to 472, and this is moving just about 24 cents a day. Yeah, it would make sense. Depending on where it closes, right? So if it closes above, it'll likely come down to a 50% of its own bar. If it closes below, it'll probably just come back and test that, but there's always the opposing side to kind of deal with that. Just real quick, the SPX did get the support we were talking about. It doesn't mean that I won. It doesn't mean anything. In fact, it just means that it bounced off of a support. Right, so I guess from here, now we see if this has enough juice to create. It's either the upside or the downside, guys. This is a critical moment for this asset. Okay, so yeah, nice movement here on JBLU, but you know, I think that even still picking up position today on JBLU will still put you in a really precarious situation, and I say that because the liquidation of and exercising of all of these options contracts expiring will force price action one way or another. And that's very difficult to you know, synthesize or you know, quantify. It's a surge of, you know, different contracts from different instruments, so that makes it a bit difficult to determine your continuation. If there's a, you know, strong side, you're just, you know, one of the sides is going to take over, is what I'm saying. So obviously. So keep an eye on it for next week. Yeah, I think should we have the closure of the week, maybe we can see over the weekend what this can do as far as the entry conditions, because I think that maybe we can catch entry somewhere around your 453 to around 447, around there. It feels like we could do something like that, you know. Roughly in these, so I had a 450, I would say 453, 450, 447. This may be there into maybe Monday. So let's see what's up. Apple got some good news? No. What is it? Sorry, this right here. These are the areas that I was just talking about, Lioness. Potentially in this zone here. So, but we want to validate this, right? I don't know where it's going to close. I don't know what it's going to do. So in the market prep or whenever, you know, you got my number. You can always just whatever, and just be like, yo, son, what you think of this, fool? But nonetheless, guys, I do have a private lecture coming in with a student, and I need to step out. But just let me know if anything, guys. No problem. And thank you, Alex, for letting me know that. That can certainly shift the markets in. Oh my goodness, it's pushing. Apple has enough of a big butt to move everything. Tin, I love you, buddy. You be safe, okay? Okay, guys. Well, thank you so much. I don't financially, you want to come up here, buddy? You want me to close it up? It's okay, no problem. Hey, buddy. Thanks so much, man. George K, I see you in there, man. I love you. Thank you, brother. I really appreciate you. So if anything, reach out to me, and we'll speak very, very, very scary. All right, team. I love you, everybody. You got it, brother. No problem at all. and let's see how this moves. Be safe, team. I love you all. Bye.